Thank you, Mrs. Bridge. Members of the LHS Band, thank you very much. At this time, I'd now like to call Senior Michelle Oakland to come sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, held the rocket's red leather bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you very much, Michelle. Michelle Oakland. Excellent. Thank you. Please be seated. Superintendent Clenchey, Chairman Fontanella, members of the school committee, members of the Board of Selectmen, honored guests, faculty, parents, friends, and students of the class of 2014. Welcome. Good evening. This is the 127th commencement of Littleton High School. Thank you for joining us here on Alumni Field for an evening of appreciation and celebration in a year in which we also celebrate the 300th anniversary of the town of Littleton. It's a beautiful evening and a wonderful time to be together. On behalf of the class of 2014, I thank you, parents, teachers, staff, friends, community members, Mr. Mike Dano, Mr. Bill Marr, Mr. Fernando Fernandez, Mrs. Sarah Berlinger, Ms. Kelly Ogden, Mrs. Cheryl Temple, Mrs. Judy Lynn, Mrs. Ginny Cormier, and most especially Mrs. Deb Dion for all your support and effort to help make this graduation ceremony possible for the young men and women in front of you. Now, she's probably not going to like this, but we're going to do it again. We're now going to ask Mrs. Dion to come up. Mrs. Dion, would you please come forward to receive a much-deserved special recognition from all of us? This event goes so well each year because of all the hard work that Deb Dion puts in each day in preparation and leading us in facilitating this whole process of organizing it. So thank you, Deb. Members of the class of 2014, the moment you have waited for and worked for has arrived. June 6th, graduation. On this historic day, we also remember and express deep gratitude for those who sacrificed so much in the service of our country and the protection of our freedom on the beaches of Normandy 70 years ago today. With this in mind, I ask that you now join me in recognizing our military veterans and current service members, absent or present, with a brief round of applause. Thank you. We also recognize 3 of our graduates this year who will enter the military in the near future. Joseph Stea in the Navy, Nicole Patterson in the Army Reserves, and Zachary Bichet in the National Guard. Thank you. I'd now like to share a message for the class of 2014 before we move forward with our program. On Wednesday, May 28th, a remarkable woman, really a phenomenal woman, passed away at age 86, Maya Angelou. She was a celebrated civil rights activist, actress, author, poet, and teacher. Maya Angelou was especially known for her inspirational words, lyrical language, and captivating presence. Reading a recent news article about her life, I was inspired by her notable quotes and wisdom, and I thought how fitting it would be to share some of her words with you on this special occasion. While we, of course, have so many hopes and dreams for you all, here are just some of our wishes and blessings for you, inspired by the wisdom of Maya Angelou. We wish for you courage in life. In the words of Angelou, one isn't necessarily born with courage, but one is born with potential. Without courage, we cannot practice any other virtue with consistency. We can't be kind, true, merciful, generous, or honest. We wish for compassion, empathy, and kindness in your life. In the words of Angelou, try to be a rainbow in someone's cloud. Angelou often referenced our common humanity and once wrote, "We can learn to see each other and see ourselves in each other and recognize that human beings are more alike than we are unalike." She also shared these powerful words. "I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." We wish for perseverance and resilience in your life. In the words of Angelou, you may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. We wish for friendship in your life. Remember these words of Angelou as you head off to college, a new job, or the military. A friend may be waiting behind a stranger's face. We wish for joy and happiness in your life. Angelou said, "When you wish someone joy, you wish peace, love, prosperity, health, happiness, all the good things." Moreover, in the soulful words of Angelou, nothing can dim the light which shines within. We wish for love in your life. Angelou wrote, "Love recognizes no barriers. It jumps hurdles, leaps fences, penetrates walls to arrive at its destination full of hope." And so, graduates, with these inspirational words, today we mark the culmination of your Littleton schooling and the commencement of a continued journey of exploration, discovery, growth, and learning. Recognize and savor now this special moment and milestone. On behalf of the faculty of Littleton High School, I congratulate you all, and now please give a warm welcome to our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Kelly Clenchey. Thank you.
Good evening. Graduates, today I bring you congratulations on behalf of myself and our entire school family. We are proud to sit with you this evening and collectively celebrate this milestone in your educational journey. You will also be known as the graduating class of Littleton's 300th anniversary. Littleton's first high school graduating class, the class of 1887, was composed of 5 students. During this time period, students took both classical and business courses. The 19th century was witness to a number of significant breakthroughs, which included the invention of the battery, creation of gas lighting, the electric light, the invention of the steam engine, the development of the camera, the creation of the stethoscope, the invention of the typewriter, last but not least, the invention of the soda fountain. Back then, it took a village to raise a child. Today, it takes a whole community. As a community, we celebrate with you in your many achievements. As a community, we have worked hard to be the wind beneath your wings as you have grown. Just as your teachers have ensured that you have the appropriate academic knowledge to leave here successfully, your legislators ensured that there was enough money to attend to those academic needs. Our school committee implemented policy that reflected those ideals and practices that supported equity in the community's values to run the district and our schools. Administrators watched over you diligently to ensure that you were learning, and that if you required support in any way, that you had it available. Our community also included an incredible number of volunteers, beyond the obvious, who worked to put enhancements in place to better support your journey in education. They were on the fields, in our schools, at special fine arts events, supported our fundraisers, and joined you on various field trips, and everywhere else that you found yourself. Many of these volunteers were your own parents and family members. It took a community, and we are so proud today as we join you in this incredible milestone. As I thought about finding a common theme during the last 300 years that was significant and stood through the test of time and was applicable in today's world, the word courage came to mind. Courage is an integral component of our lives. The great Maya Angelou has been quoted as saying, "Courage is the most important of all virtues, because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently." When you leave here today, might I suggest that you take this notion of courage with you. In the song titled "My Wish" by Rascal Flatts, there's a lyric that reads, "My wish for you is that this life becomes all that you want it to." That would be my wish for all of you this evening. In order for this to happen, courage is an important virtue to practice. Courage is what moves us. It's what drives us to be the best that we can be. Life throws us curves, often curves that we don't understand and struggle coming to terms with. Finding and having the courage within our souls is what continues to propel us. Courage to move beyond unforeseen challenges. Courage to be who we are, to find our niche in life, to set lofty goals, and to take the roads less traveled. Courage helps us not be afraid, but to embrace what we can and enhance who we are. John F. Kennedy once said, "Those who dare to fail miserably can achieve greatly." May you have the courage to dare to fail miserably, because it is often through this that we achieve great things. Through courage, we are able to leave legacies and establish new and exciting things for the generation behind us. I am confident that you are well prepared for your continued journey. You are our hope and promise for our future. Graduates, go forward with an open heart and mind. May your sojourn bring you much success, fulfillment, and happiness. And remember, it took a community. Congratulations.
And now I'd like to call to the podium our recent school committee chair, Mr. Paul Avella.
Thank you, Principal Harrington. And good evening, Selectman Hebert, Superintendent Clenchy, Principal Harrington, my school committee colleagues, faculty, staff, friends, and family of tonight's graduates, and most especially to our graduates. Oh, what a glorious evening it is this evening for Littleton Tire graduates. Class of 2014, tonight is your night. But as Principal Harrington reminded us, it is also the 70th anniversary of the D-Day invasion. The invasion launched with still over a year remaining in World War II. It was the largest seaborne invasion in history. I mention this for two reasons. The first is somewhat obvious given the historical context. The second, and be much less obvious, but of remarkable importance nonetheless, entails risk and the decision to accept risk without the fear of failure. Graduates, you are a class who has enjoyed tremendous success during your high school career. This year alone, whether in the classroom, on the stage in Trek the Musical, in the community with Relay for Life, or on the field of athletics with numerous championships, football Super Bowl champions, not the least, you have experienced success. It has been success born out of hard work, risk-taking, and not being afraid of failure, or more positively, a willingness to take a chance. Ralph Waldo Emerson, American essayist, lecturer, and poet, said, "Life is a series of experiments. The more you make, the better. Each failure is a trial, in an experiment and an opportunity for growth." In his day, and even through today, he is seen as a champion of individualism and a prescient critic of the countervailing pressures of society. I urge you, resist societal pressures that cause you to fear failure, and instead experiment. Experiment to your heart's content and achieve your true potential. For I believe that the fear of failure is perhaps the strongest force holding people below their true potential. Actiophobia, the persistent fear of failure, it causes paralysis. It results in inability to act. It destroys dreams. Don't let it destroy your dreams. Without action, there is no success. There is no progress. If you allow fear to keep you from experimenting, you will in the end be not much more socially, emotionally, mentally, or intellectually mature than you are today. You know how much you've learned these last 18 years or so of your life. Will you be 5 times 18 years from now? Will you regret missed opportunities? Or will you say to yourself, fearlessly, I live life with gusto? I'm not preaching for you to completely disregard fear. Rather, you should have a healthy respect for it. And know that courage is what conquers that fear. Be courageous, and if you've not already done so, come to view failure as an opportunity to learn. When asked about the many failures he experienced in his attempt to develop the incandescent bulb, Thomas Edison reported to have said, "I have not failed 1,000 times. I have successfully discovered 1,000 ways to not make a light bulb." Had Edison given up at some point before that 1,000th attempt, would the light bulb have come apart? Yes, it would have, eventually. But then Edison and the light bulb would not have become synonymous. You have a lifetime to become a synonym with greatness if you choose action over fear. Ed Helms, actor and comedian from The Daily Show, The Office, and the Hangover trilogy, said, "Don't be afraid of fear because it sharpens you. It challenges you. It makes you stronger." He then added, "When you run away from fear, you also run away from the opportunity to be your best possible self." You should view each day as that opportunity to be your best possible self. Leave each day with passion and zeal. Approach each day with enthusiasm. Former British Prime Minister Winston Churchill, not one to recall in fear, noted that success is the ability to go from one failure to another with no loss of enthusiasm. Earlier I told you that my second reason for mentioning the D-Day invasion involved a decision to accept risk without letting the fear of failure rule the day. I want to read to you a short note that was penned the evening prior to D-Day. "Our landings in the Cherbourg Harbor area have failed to gain a satisfactory foothold, and I have withdrawn the troops. My decision to attack at this time and place was based upon the best information available. The troops, the air, the Navy, did all that bravery and devotion to duty could do. If any blame or fault attaches to the attempt, it is mine alone." Those words were penned by General Dwight David Eisenhower, Supreme Allied Commander during World War II, later our 34th President. This was the note not sent. It was not sent because the invasion was a success. But you must understand that the possibility the invasion would not be successful was very real and weighed heavily and painfully on Eisenhower. Had fear of failure crushed his resolve, had he succumbed to such fear, had he vacillated, the only real opportunity to free Europe in the mid-20th century most likely would have been lost, and history would have taken a different course. While we know that history is written in the past tense, it is created in the present tense. You have the power in your ability to create history. Don't blow it. In 2005, at a different commencement ceremony, Steve Jobs of Apple Computers told Stanford University graduates that so long as your desire to explore is greater than your desire to not screw up, You're on the right track. He continued, a life oriented toward discovery is infinitely more rewarding than a life oriented towards not blowing it. 3 of your fellow graduates' mom has a bumper sticker on her SUV that reads, "The world is run by the people who show up." Showing up takes courage. It requires action. It demonstrates that you are not afraid to venture forward. It means you are prepared to explore and to seek new discoveries. Tonight I'm saying to you, graduates, go out into the world aggressively seeking wonderment, yet knowing disappointment may result. Look to be amazed even if you are befuddled at times. Seek adventure while not worrying if some days it all seems routine. Because life is a mix of all these things, but you, yes you, control the mix. Disappointment, befuddlement, and routine are all directly proportional to fear. The more fear in your life, the more of each. Now take everything that you've learned up to this point and use it as a springboard. Leave the stage tonight and fear not. Instead, go out and create history. Make your name and greatness synonymous. Graduates of Tiger Class 2014, I wish you well. Be not afraid. Godspeed.
Thank you, Mr. Avella. Now I'd like to call forward members of the LHS chorus from our senior class as well as from the other classes to perform a special song.
Heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to a kitchen chair, she broke your throne and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew the hallelujah. You say I took the name in vain. I don't even know the name, but if I did, well, really, what's it to ya? There's a blaze of light in every word. It doesn't matter which you heard, the holy or the broken. Hallelujah, 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 I did my best, it wasn't much. I couldn't feel, so I tried to touch. I didn't lie, I never tried to fool ya. And even though it all went wrong, I'll stand before the Lord of Song with nothing on my tongue but hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Ms. Bergman. Thank you, Michelle Oakland. Wow. Thank you, members of the LHS Chorus. It's now my privilege and honor to bring forward our co-salutatorians this year, Andrew McGregor and Julia Patino.
Oh, wait a minute. That's one mic. Alright. That's not doing it.
Okay. 1 second, before we go, we have a special presentation for you. You might need to take your cap off.
I can't take my cap off.
All right. Andrew, would you just come over here for a second? Sure. Take your cap off for a second. Congratulations.
Ready? What? I think the police cop. Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming out and sharing this special night with us. I'm Julia.
And I'm Andy. So Saturday morning, Dr. Harrington called to tell me that I would be this year's co-salutatorian of the class of 2014. I felt a sinking feeling. I would have to give a speech at graduation. I was so sure that I would do something stupid like write a poem about Star Wars. But then I remembered that he said co-salutatorian. There's some relief. Later I found out that Julia would be standing alongside with me. Still more relief, because I knew whatever I do, she would keep me in line.
I had a similar experience. I was thrilled to hear the news, but terrified at the thought of addressing half the town with a speech. When I heard that Andy and I had tied, I texted him right away to ask him if we could write it together. And I finally calmed down when he told me he had the same idea.
So when we started working together to come up with something to talk to you all about, Julia had asked me what my first memory of the Littleton public school system was.
Andy told me that his first memory was being afraid to use the bathroom in pre-K. Mine was painting wooden birdhouses in Mrs. Papalizio's class.
From there on, we started reminiscing about the past 13 years. And there was just so much stuff to reminisce about that we felt old, like we were graduating or something.
We won't exhaust you with each memory that came up because there are so many to cherish, and you all have your own, whatever they may be.
And while our memories were all pretty great, most likely the memories that we remembered were better than the actual times we were thinking of. Except for this year's football season, because 13-0 state champs with a ring. Woo! We realize that not everything in our past has been smooth sailing. There have been tough times for all of us where we struggled to move forward on our own.
Then Andy and I realized something quite similar between our high school experiences. This was the unending support from our community of teachers, parents, coaches, friends, and others that helped us get through those tough times. So many of you in the crowd have helped us develop into the young adults we are today.
But the reality is, next year, whether we decide to go to college, to work, or to travel, is that we'll be leaving the protected nest of Littleton High School.
Although it may have frustrated us in the past, we'll miss having Millie tell us when to make our turn, or Mrs. Ham forcing us to share our bus seats. Without the unwavering protection and support, we'll have to fend for ourselves. We'll have to fight to overcome the obstacles that approach us in the future.
Over the years, every one of us has felt a lot of pressure at some point. It comes from different places, such as our parents, ourselves, or our peers. Most of us have might felt pressure to do well in school, or to be good at a sport, or to find a job, or even just to stay out of trouble.
As we move on, this stress and pressure is not going to end. It may come from different places, but it's something that we'll always have to cope with.
In your next few years, you might find yourself at college. You might find yourself in a stressful situation where you've reached the ends of your endurance, where you've spent too many all-nighters studying for your finals, and to your third all-night study sesh, you spend the last $3 in your bank account on a 2-liter of Red Mountain Dew just to stay awake.
Or where you've plowed driveways 20 hours a day for a week straight, or you're in a time crunch to meet a strict deadline.
We don't want to scare you by the prospect of these tough times ahead. Instead, we would rather do the opposite.
We are confident that this group is ready for the future. Even though there will be pressure ahead, this town has taught us the necessary lessons for success. We know how to depend on ourselves and set our own goals. We know when and where to reach out for help when we need it.
We know how to persevere and recognize when it's going to take a little extra drive to get us through. And even though you'll be leaving the supportive and safe environment of LHS, hopefully we'll be able to take comfort in our individuality, that we, as adults, are our own people.
We want you to remember that in your own life, your happiness comes first. Pressure is everywhere. Certain things will be expected of you by certain people. Try to be aware that the most important expectation that you should strive to live up to is your own.
Once you receive your diploma, you are released into the larger world. You are free to make your own choices. In fact, you are as free as a bird now. And this bird you cannot change, Leonard Skinner.
I think we will all miss our time here in Littleton at some point, but now we look towards the future and whatever it might bring. Andy and I lastly want to thank our class and the entire community of students, teachers, parents, administrators, etc. for making the last 4 years an unforgettable experience that we will always carry with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Andrew. At this time, I'd like our class president, Stephanie Gentili, to come forward to give her address, as well as the presentation of the class gift. You'll do great.
Superintendent Clenchey, school committee members, Dr. Harrington, Mrs. Temple, teachers, administrators, families, and friends. On behalf of the class of 2014, I would like to thank you all for being here to enjoy this final night with us. I am honored to be able to stand up here tonight to present the gift from the class of 2014. This year, as the students sitting before you have helped our school to win 9 league titles and 1 state championship, we felt it was only fitting to acknowledge those accomplishments by presenting LHS with a new banner. Although this banner will hang in the gym, it is representative of the values that our class has embodied in all arenas throughout high school. Over the last 4 years, our athletic director, Mr. Lin, has reminded us countless times of 2 very important things. First, in the phrase student-athlete, the word student comes before athlete for a reason. And secondly, although Mr. Lin does like to win, there are 4 core values he encourages students to exemplify: leadership, sportsmanship, tradition, and excellence. These 4 values are what you see displayed on our banner. I would just like to take a few minutes to share with you how, as a team, the class of 2014 has remembered to be students before athletes, and how we've displayed these 4 core values. Leadership. Leadership is defined as a process of social influence in which one person supports another in the accomplishment of a common task. At Littleton High School, we have been taught to lead by example. We have been leaders on the field, in the classroom, on the stage, and even in the hallways. Back in 2010, we were the ones following examples, watching as the seniors then set an example for us. And now, here we are, graduating. Sportsmanship. The class of 2014 are all good sports. We have welcomed the newer members that have entered our graduating class, and we have waved goodbye to the many that have left along our journey throughout Littleton Public Schools. If there is one thing that we as a team can teach all of you, it is to be kind, to be open, and to be a friend to whoever you meet. Tradition. I am sure many of you sitting in the stands today can attest to the fact that LHS is much like it was when you went. The class of 2014 has kept many traditions alive. We still have an intense senior freshman dodgeball game during Spirit Week. We still scream the victory cheer at pep rallies. The boys of fall still wear their game day jerseys every Friday. We all dressed up on Halloween for our senior parade. Powder Puff still happens the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. We all enjoyed a senior breakfast at Bickford's on our last day. And keeping one last tradition alive, we all sit here in blue and gold. Excellence. Of the 94 of us sitting out here today, not only are we receiving our high school diplomas, but we have plans for the future. We are going off to college. We have full-time jobs lined up. We are entering the military. We have been recruited to continue our athletic careers. We are ready to travel the world. We have been accepted into honors programs. We will be performing on stage, but most importantly, we will do it with all our hearts. Because thanks to Littleton High School, we are prepared for what is next. So tonight, as we hang up our blue and gold, and our final season here at Littleton High School comes to a close, I want to challenge you all to do 3 things. First, thank those who have gotten you where you are today, because without them, who would have been our cheerleaders on the sidelines? So thanks, Mom and Dad. Secondly, stand up to the new challenges that you're going to face. Whatever you're planning to do in the months to come and in the future, know that it is the right decision for you. And bring those 4 core values of leadership, sportsmanship, tradition, and excellence that are displayed on our banner along with you. Work hard, but have fun. And lastly, remember where you came from, because although it is time to move on, Littleton has been good to us. Remember what uniform you wore first, and don't forget the memories you made. We are all the MVPs of the class of 2014. Congratulations and good luck, everybody.
Thank you, Stephanie. And now it's time for the presentation of departmental awards, and Mrs. Temple will come forward to present those awards along with me. Yeah, thanks.
Good evening. When your name is called, please come up and accept your award. The Unified Visual Arts Award is presented to Megan McCann. The Unified Visual Arts Photography Award is presented to Laura Platts. The Band and Music Award is presented to Sean Fisk.
Thank you very much.
The Wellness, Health, and Physical Education Award is presented to Travis Bassett. The History and Social Sciences Award is presented to Chloe Shelford. The English Language Arts Award is presented to Brooke Anderson. The English Language Arts Award is also presented to Chloe Shelford. The Mathematics Award is presented to Andrew McGregor. The Science Award is presented to Andrew McGregor. And we're going to ask him to stay up here for one more. The World Language Award for French is awarded to Andrew McGregor. The World Language Award for Latin is awarded to Emily Stearns. And finally, the World Language Award for Spanish is presented to Valerie Higgins.
Congratulations and thank you, Mrs. Temple. It's now time for the presentation of the unique Littleton tradition, the presentation of scholarships, and I'd ask the superintendent and Mrs. Temple to assist me with the presentation of the scholarships. When your name is called, please come forward. And please bear with me, but we'd like to recognize, along with the Littleton Scholarship Trust, lots of donors. Thank you, Trust, members of the Trust who are here this evening. Thank you for your generosity, your service to the town of Littleton and to our students. This time, would Valerie Higgins please come forward? Valerie Higgins received scholarships from Sean and Wendy Abetz, Bradbury Family Scholarship, the Warren Memorial Fund, Howard M. Dowd Fund, John C. Morrison Memorial Fund, Robert and Doreen Morse, Littleton High School World Language Book Bag. Congratulations. Julia Patino. Julia Patino received scholarships from Les Bowen Memorial Fund, the Rotary Club of Littleton, and the Marlborough Hospital Auxiliary. Congratulations. Andrew McGregor. Andrew McGregor received scholarships from Acton Refrigeration Incorporated, Bradford Sampson Fund, FM Kimball Fund, Gould Law Offices, Howard M. Dowd Fund. Sydney Vaca. Sydney Vaca received scholarships from Kurt and Claire Albertson, the Warren Memorial Fund, FM Kimball Fund, Oak Meadow Montessori School. Nancy Yang. Nancy received scholarships from Gary and Laurie Austin, Forrest and Florence Kimball, John C. Morrison Memorial Fund, Knights of Caliva, Robert B. O'Neill, and the American Legion. Brendan Burke. Brendan Burke received scholarships from Paul Avella, FM Kimball Fund, Richard F. and Bernice Packard, Greg S. Webster Memorial Scholarship. Peter Murphy. Peter received scholarships from Badger Funeral Homes Incorporated, Foster and Florence Kimball, Darrell and Ann Louise Payson, Gruskowski Dental Associates, in memory of LTC Edward Gruskowski. Amy Higgins. Amy received scholarships from Lawrence Bear and Robin Hodge, Bradford Sampson Fund, Michael and Natalie Pylan. Brooke Anderson. Brooke received scholarships from Robert and Beth Bell, Howard M. Dowd Fund, David and Carol Plogger. Erin Kish. Erin received scholarships from Patricia M. Bennett, Bradford Sampson Fund, John C. Morrison Memorial Fund, Northern Bank and Trust Company, Gerald F. and Suzanne M. Portante, LEA Educators, and the Middlesex Savings Charitable Foundation. Catherine Goodwin. Catherine Goodwin received scholarships from Vincent Bertolino and Melissa Bertolino, Bradbury Family Scholarship, the Warren Memorial Fund, Henry Vincent Cooper Charitable Fund, Proctor Hill Farm, and LEA Retirees. Stephanie Gentili. Stephanie received scholarships from Acton Medical Associates, Jeffrey M. and Lisa M. Boone, Program Test Sources, Inc., Robert and Lisa Caliendo, the Warren Memorial Fund, Dover Salary, Inc., Richard and Shelley Roach, Acton Toyota, Tyler Clenchy Memorial Scholarship, Littleton Middle School Student Council. Emily Stearns. Emily received scholarships from John and Janelle Borowski, Les Bowen Memorial Fund, Howard M. Dowd Fund, Prudential Prime Properties, John C. Morrison Memorial Fund, Marion W. Flag Fund, Littleton High School World Language Book Bag. Noah Ty. Noah received scholarships from Bradbury Family Scholarship, Jonathan and Susan Brigham, John C. Morrison Memorial Fund, Mark P. and Alyssa E. Rico, Paul and Natalie Rothwell. Keaton Solo. Keaton received scholarships from Les Bowen Memorial Fund. Congratulations. And just to let people know, if you receive one scholarship, it doesn't necessarily indicate the amount. Danielle Concession received scholarships from Les Bowen Memorial Fund. Danielle. Hannah Montemagno received scholarships from Arthur Silva Fund, David D. and Gail Canastrato. Matthew Johnson. Matthew received scholarships from Carolyn Sanderson Memorial Fund, Marion W. Flag Fund, Mary Ellen Began Memorial Fund, Richard and Ann Peralt, Howard A. and Karen A. Schneider, Stephen P. and Susan C. Ruskar. Wow. Travis Bassett. Travis received scholarships from the Baseball Scholarship Fund, class of 1961, Richard and Ann Peralt, Peter and Janine Scantleberry. Laura Platts. Laura received scholarships from James and Patricia Colombo, Marion W. Flag Fund, Richard W. and Linda A. Schneider. Mark Marshall. Mark received scholarships from Mark Conlon, Marion W. Flag Fund, David K. and Kathleen Scully. Shannon Luddig. Shannon received scholarships from Carly Associates, Richard and Ann Peralt, and Robin L. Sewell. Michelle Oakland. Michelle received scholarships from Craig Hinckley Memorial Fund, Fran D'Agostino Memorial Fund, Performing Arts Scholarship. Brett Graceffa. Brett received scholarships from Bradbury Family Scholarship, Louis A. Curley, Margaret Myers Memorial Fund, Rotary Club of Littleton, Robert A. and Carolyn R. Stahl, and Massachusetts Elks. Connor Moran. Connor received scholarships from the Baseball Scholarship Fund, Donald J. and Elaine E. Davis, Rotary Club of Littleton, Mark and Barbara Staples, Aiden and Donna Trainer. Elizabeth Porrell. Elizabeth received scholarships from Joanne Deary, the Rotary Club of Littleton, Roy Foundation, Warren W., and Virginia A. Terrell, and the Portuguese American Association of Falmouth. Joshua Nichols. Josh received scholarships from the Les Bowen Memorial Fund. Nicole Coaches. Nicole received scholarships from the Bradford Sampson Fund, Susan Eaton, Stephen P. and Susan Ruskar, Volunteer Insurance Agency of Littleton, Incorporated, and the Children of LEA members. Marcus Otis. Marcus received scholarships from Baseball Scholarship Fund, Bradford Sampson Fund, Marilyn Fidel, Roy Foundation, Walter and Ann Clancy Memorial Fund. Sean Fisk. Sean received scholarships from Quinn and Jennifer Canfield, Bradford Sampson Fund, Mark and Melissa Fiato, Henry Whitcomb, in memory of Brian Atkins Whitcomb. Jillian Austin. Jill received scholarships from Bradford Sampson Fund, Barton and Suzanne Fisk, and Wayside Kitchens. Lauren Gibbons. Lauren received scholarships from the Warren Memorial Fund, Dean and Carol Flory, Henry Whitcomb, in memory of Harvey and Edie Atkins Sr. Alexander McLaughlin. Alex received scholarships from the Warren Memorial Fund, Maurice and Sally Foley, and Gordon Witten. Jessica Peterson. Jessica received scholarships from the Bradford Sampson Fund, the Warren Memorial Fund, G.W. Archer Incorporated, Archer's Mobile, Jeffrey and Janet Wilkinson, and the Massachusetts AFL-CIO Insulators Local 6. Bradley Chow. Brad received scholarships from the Warren Memorial Fund, Joseph F. and Garina Gaffney, and Joyce W. Williams. Benjamin Taylor. Benjamin received scholarships from Bradford Sampson Fund, Donlin Supermarkets, Alyssa G., Littleton Youth Lacrosse Association, Gary and Jody Wilson. Dominique G. Ferrante. Dominique received scholarships from Donlin Supermarkets, the Warren Memorial Fund, Stephen and Kimberly Gentili, Long Lake Property Owners. Catherine Cox. Catherine received scholarships from the F.M. Kimball Fund, Michael and Margaret Gillen. Brendan Freund. Brendan received scholarships from F.M. Kimball Fund, Class of 2011 Glenn Drinkwater Memorial Fund. Nicole Patterson. Nicole received scholarships from the F.M. Kimball Fund, Gould Sieben Nadeau Family, Littleton Youth Lacrosse Association, and the Littleton Police Patrolmen's Association. Lauren White. Lauren received scholarships from the F.M. Kimball Fund, Gary V. and Marie Dano Graves. Thank you. Ashley Berezinski. Ashley received scholarships from the F.M. Kimball Fund, Henry S. Harvey. Matthew Jackson. Matt received scholarships from Foster and Florence Kimball, Susan McGregor Harvey. Dylan Razuski. Dylan received scholarships from the Baseball Scholarship Fund, Foster and Florence Kimball, and Charles M. Howell. Cameron Zaborowski. Cameron received scholarships from Foster and Florence Kimball, Roy Foundation, Alexander E. and Karen Smith. Megan McCann. Megan received scholarships from Howard M. Dowd Fund, Brenda J. Keir, Lieutenant Colonel retired. Brianna Lewis. Brianna received scholarships from the Henry Vincent Cooper Charitable Fund, King's Daughters, and Roy Foundation. John Howard. John receives scholarships from Henry Vincent Cooper Charitable Fund, James Levine, Marion W. Flagg Fund, and Rotary Club of Littleton. Kristen Smith. Kristen received scholarships from the Henry Vincent Cooper Charitable Fund, Ronald Leaving, and the Littleton Police Patrolmen's Association. Kevin Larson. Kevin received scholarships from the Littleton Animal Hospital, Littleton Sportsman Club, Marion W. Flagg Fund, Richard and Ann Peralta. Chloe Shelford. Chloe received scholarships from the Reuben Orr Library Trustees. Now that's it for the graduating class from 2014 from LHS, but we have other scholarship recipients that we'd like to recognize, and we thank the Trust for these scholarships for Littleton residents who attend Neshoba Tech and other local schools. Aaron Hatch received scholarships from the F.M. Kimball Fund, and Thomas and Cayenne Lonan. Hannah Heisteck received scholarships from the Warren Memorial Fund, Howard M. Dowd Fund, Karen Duggan, McNamara. Thank you. That's a mouthful. Okay. We're moving right along, but before we do, we'd like to acknowledge once again the generosity and service of the Trust, and we appreciate them each year and recognize them not only in public at graduation, but we also mention the amounts. It really is astounding each year, as I have the honor and privilege to stand before you as principal of the high school and recognize the generosity of this town towards its graduating class each year. Total Littleton Scholarship Trust scholarships to the LHS class of 2014, 66,500. Plus, Neshoba Tech and other schools, 2,750. Total Littleton Scholarship Trust awards to the class of 2014 amount to 69,250 at this time. Total class of 2014 scholarships from independent sources, and we know we don't account for everything, but we have a fair amount of information already, 21,400. The grand total class of 2014 awards, this includes Littleton Scholarship Trust as well as independent, are $90,650. Now, you're about to become alumni, so I want you to remember this, and I said this last year, and boy, did we get a response. The Trust will certainly attest to it. I said to the graduating class last year, I said, remember to apply next year, and they did. We had lots and lots of applicants who finished up their freshman year in college just recently. And so total alumni scholarships from the Littleton Scholarship Trust amounted to $71,000 to the class of 2013 and other classes from Littleton High School. So the combined total of the Littleton Scholarship Trust, this year's seniors and alumni, what generosity, $140,250. Again, $140,250. Thank you, Trust. Thank you, the town of Littleton. Okay, wow. And now, I'd like to call forward, at this time, our school valedictorian, Valerie Higgins, who will now come and share her special message with the class. She's got it. She did it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome, parents, friends, loved ones, faculty, and my fellow classmates, as well as Superintendent Clenchy and the school committee. Thank you all for coming out to support the class of 2014. Before I begin, I would like to congratulate Andy and Julia, co-salutatorians. In my mind, it has always been the three of us, and I'm so glad we get to stand up here together. In the words of Joan D. Vinge, studying anthropology, I developed a kind of holistic view of human existence, in which the dichotomies you listed are all necessary and vital aspects of life. Holism, the tendency to view an object in its entirety, as more than the sum of its individual parts. As a whole, as a grade, we've had a pretty spectacular run. We made it through more than our fair share of embarrassing turkey trot skits. We won Spirit Week 2 years in a row because we've always been more than a little competitive. We climbed Mount Wachusett without seeing a single hawk until the second we stepped off the mountain. We raised the bar in athletics, breaking not a few records along the way. We've hashtagged everything, YOLO'd until we couldn't take ourselves seriously, taken selfies everywhere, and spent more time on Facebook than we have doing practically anything else. In years past, I often found myself betting that if I tried, I could name each and every person in our grade. I think nearly all of us could, to be honest. When I look out at you now, I see each of us at 7 singing the Heart Song, at 10 playing Scrabble on Fridays, and at 14 graduating from middle school. We've come to be defined as a unit, the same individuals we were at 7, 10, and 14, just a little bit taller, and hopefully a lot more prepared for what lies ahead of us. Unfortunately, I can't pack all of you up and take you to college with me. It's just not happening. For the first time, we must truly strike out on our own, away from the safety net that this school and its inhabitants have provided for roughly 12 years. But the good thing about safety nets is that they're always there, no matter what. Because as much as we define Littleton, Littleton also defines us. We take with us not only our education here, but our knowledge of how to win a football state championship, how to give back to the community in the most rewarding way possible, how to preserve our history for years to come. For a small town, we've never been short on opportunities or dedicated people. Our presidents, captains, and strong-willed volunteers have led by example, whether it was organizing about 1,000 bake sales, inspiring teammates to victory, or helping out with Relay for Life. We sure didn't blow up all those balloons for our senior prank with sheer willpower. Not only did we do it ourselves, but no one passed out, which I think is pretty impressive. No matter how long we've seen ourselves in the same groups with the same people, the holistic outlook doesn't trump the fact that each of us provides a very different skill set to our class. When we toss up our caps and celebrate both an end and a beginning, the tabula rasa we fill with skills and memories will break apart. Each of us will come up with a piece, the contents of which will depend on what we have each done with our time here. At first, the edges will seem a little jagged, but that's only because they haven't found a new match quite yet. When I was explaining how I felt about leaving for college to a friend of mine, she emphasized the point in particular that resonated with me. She said, "You don't want to wipe the slate clean. You want to reinvent the slate." And that's what we'll do. Take that piece of Littleton you have wherever you end up next year. Cover it with college stickers, share it with others, try to find a person with a similar fragment that aligns with your own. Build a new holistic. The pieces may not always mesh together the same way, and sometimes we lose track of what that slate represents. But we can always build for ourselves a better tomorrow. With each break of the slate, we add a little more to ourselves. New people, new ideas, new experiences. Each piece will have its own unique composition, but one characteristic will remain the same. They will all have a touch of blue and gold, whether in the center or at a jagged edge, that reminds us where we got our start, here, together. I wish you the best of luck in all that you do, and hope you find the missing pieces of your slate. But most important of all, stay classy 2014. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Valerie. Congratulations. Well, it's time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Presentation of diplomas. I'd like our class advisors, Mrs. Berlinger and Ms. Ogden, to come forward to read the names of the graduates of the class of 2014. That's good.
We ask you to please hold your applause until all the names have been read. Brooke, Brennan, Anderson.
Sorry, Brooke.
Sophie E. Anderson. Taylor Lynn Anderson. Thomas Angel. Jillian S. Austin. Christopher F. Bales. Travis Everett Bassett. Elena Ann Bertolino. Catherine F. Bessie. Brian Matthew Bowen. Nathaniel R. Bowman. Ashley Rose Brzezinski. Brendan Patrick Burke. Antonio J. Busa. Cameron Richard Bush. Bradley Y. Chow. Nicole Marie Coaches. Chandler Ray Collins. Danielle K. Concession. Samuel P. Cooney. Catherine Mary Cox. Victoria Dahl. Samantha Brooke Degnan. Kelsey Doran. Alicia Nicole Dre. Dominique Gabriella Ferrante. Kylie Claire Field. Sean Richard Fisk. Erica Jane Forsberg. Brandon James Freund. Stephanie Jacqueline Gentili. Lauren Mary Gibbons. Catherine Alice Goodwin. Brett Christina Graceffa. Amy Margaret Higgins. Valerie Higgins. Jonathan L. Howard. Matthew D. Jackson. Matthew Peter Johnson. Siobhan Rose Kelleher. Erin Ann Kish. Kevin Ray Larson. Jared R. LeBlanc. Kyle William Leonard. Brianna M. Lewis. Gregory J. Lazat. Shannon Marie Luddig.
Andrew Alexander McGregor. James Ralph McLean. Bradley Zach Magnuson. Mark J. Marshall. Megan A. McCann. Tori Elizabeth McKean. Alexander J. McLaughlin. Malaya Tora McMahon.
Could you take a tiny step forward?
Hannah Ruth Montemagno. Connor Scott Moran. Peter Brendan Murphy. Charles Rocco Napoli. Joshua Gerard Nichols. Michelle M. Oakland. Kayla Jean Honors. Marcus Jeffrey Otis. Nicole Taylor Patterson. Jessica Leah Peterson. Zachary Raul Pichet. Julia Christine Patino. Laura Ellen Platts. Elizabeth Grace Perel. Danielle Christina Robinson. Dylan John Rzuski. Elizabeth Marie Shaw. Chloe Lillian Shelford. Kristen Beverly Smith. Keaton Justin Solo. Ryan Patrick Sorabella. Alexandra Rose Stea. Joseph Gregory Stea. Sienna Marie Stea. Emily Michelle Stearns. Michael Sullivan. Benjamin Michael Taylor. Patrick H. Thompson. Noah Dane Ty. Sydney J. Vaca. Devin Webster. Emily Alice Webster. Caitlin Wetzel. Lauren Taylor White. Brendan Michael Williams. Michael T. Wilson. Matthew Scott Wazinski. Nancy Joshi Yang. Cameron J. Zaborowski.
I did. I got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you the class of 2014.
Thank you, Ms. Ogden. Thank you, Mrs. Berlinger, for serving as this class as advisors for the last 4 years. Thank you so much. I also want to thank our marshals, Samantha Sullivan and Deb Finity, for doing outstanding work tonight. And it's now time for us to close our ceremony and send another class off on their next journey. Class President Steph Gentili, Vice President Erin Kish will now lead us in the ceremonial turning of the tassel to conclude our ceremony. Congratulations, Class of 2014.
And now, class, join us in moving your tassels from right to left as we graduate from Littleton High School.
Congratulations, class of 2014.